two, three. One, two, three. Let's go.
All right, everybody, welcome to early week edition of Teaching Crypto. This is AZcrypto, MrFOMO. Please, guys, hit that subscribe button. Please do so. We're trying to reach our way to 300. So the more you guys share, the more you hit subscribe, the more you hit like, the more it helps us. And subscribe really helps us out. And today, the first thing I'm going to start with some good news about Voyager. Some people are finally seeing the money going back into their account. Now, we're talking only, remember, about USD. We'll talk about USDC. And I'm going to share something with my screen as soon as Mr. FOMO allows me to here. I'm going to share a tweet, live show, ladies and gentlemen, kind of. So here's the deal. Yeah, here's the deal right here. And this is Lucas Bradley, random Voyager user. My Voyager USD withdrawal was received into my bank account this morning. This was yesterday, August 15th. So last week on the 11th, you were able to finally get your USD. Remember, USD out. And this week, the last couple of days, it's been hitting bank accounts. That is a great sign. That means there has been no jokes or any games being played. It's real. The money is really coming back. I think that's making people feel pretty good about it, Mr. FOMO. And this is only a first step. But again,
I haven't had a chance to check my account, but I should have some cash coming back to me too. So I'm waiting until after the show, but I'm excited to see if it actually showed up.
Now, for me, unfortunately, I had all in USDC and crypto, so I'm going to have to wait. Now, we want to remind you guys the date we're looking for is the 26th. It's coming soon, 10 days from today of this airing. So we're on a countdown. Remember the 26th, all of the bids are due. And on the 29th, we should hear who is the winning bidder in the auction. So that's exciting stuff. That's less than 3 weeks, Mr. FOMO. And so far, so good. No delays. Let's cross our fingers. Let's make sure this continues. Remember, we will keep you guys up to date if anything changes. But right now, we got the money coming back into the accounts. We have in 10 days now, when a lot of you watch this, 9 days until all the bids are due. And we have, over 22 real bidders right now. So it's exciting. And I do want to float a rumor that I heard. Again, I just want to preface this. This is rumor. I didn't even tell Mr. FOMO about this before filming because I wanted to hear his reaction. Google's parent company that invests in crypto, Alphabet, who's also invested in other projects. I've heard possibly that they might be one of the interested parties. I've seen that a few places. Again, unsubstantiated rumor. I just want to float that out there. I'm being honest, it is speculation, but I've seen a few speculate on it. And sometimes when you see several people talk about it, maybe, just maybe it could be true. We're not reporting that this is fact, but if Alphabet is one of the bidders, that would be huge because they have the money. Obviously, they have the gigantic backing from Google. So that would be an amazing scenario for those of us that hold in Voyager. And again, we want to preface that we're not telling our viewers that Google is buying Voyager. We're just saying the parent company, Alphabet, might be interested and might be one of those 22 parties.
And for me, it's funny that you say that because there's always sort of like three or four big companies that get floated out there, Google and Apple and there's a few others that get floated out there every time. They're talking about, oh, they might finally have Bitcoin on their balance sheet, or they might, they might be doing this for crypto, or they might be partnering with this crypto company. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Certainly, like we've talked about before, Voyager is sort of a turnkey company. Excuse me. And that would allow somebody to sort of jump right in and have an exchange ready to go. But I'll take a wait and see. I'm more of a skeptic in that. But I'll take a wait.
And again, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think a company like Alphabet is more realistic than a traditional finance right now. I think the traditional finances, like your Morgan Stanley, they're going to want to wait to see what regulation is. It's probably too soon for them, to be honest. But something like Alphabet that's already been investing in crypto, that to me is more realistic. So when I heard that rumor, and I did hear it from two different people that I do follow, and again, I don't want to say that it's a fact at all. It is really not. It's just speculation, but we will see. We might hear some leaks coming up on the 26th. And so if that name pops up, if you hear the word Alphabet, it's not just Alphabet, it's also Google. It's time to start getting excited because that means that's a real company that has real intentions in the space.
Absolutely, and I think that's a great point. One thing I do want to mention about the Voyager saga is there was a brave woman that stood up in court. You only give her first name. Her name was Magnolia, but she had over $1 million saved up on the Voyager platform. And she not only had the guts to stand up in court and say her piece, but she also threw in there that she hopes that the leadership, especially Stephen Ehrlich, isn't collecting bonuses and isn't collecting a salary during all this. She hopes that's going.
Well, he is, unfortunately. So,
so I just wanted to say, first of all, my heart goes out to this woman because about 300,000 of that was earmarked for her kids' college fund. And so that's all tied up right now and she can't use it. But I wanted to say that, she was pretty brave to stand up in court and to, say what she said and stick up for the other customers as well. And so just wanted to mention her on this show because she's got a lot of guts.
Great point. And we're going to transition to a coin that's had a hot week. And we remember we're telling you guys that we really believe we are still in a bear market. But one that has really come to life here is Chiliz. Now, Chiliz, if you remember, has a lot of partnerships with sports teams all over the country. And the problem has been the tokenomics has not really been tied to price. The tokens of Chili are not really connected so much to the fan token. So you can see this week we're up almost 44, 45% almost. Now, you might say that's not a great time to buy. And remember, right now, if you're buying something, I would highly recommend you DCA dollar cost average in because of the bear market. You might say, why would you buy at 21 cents? Well, I love to do this. We do the all time. And look, I mean, that's amazing right here what happened here. But look, you go back here to 89 cents in March, and you see right here, we're at, around 20 cents. MrFOMO, that's still a great entry for a DCA. We want to preface DCA. You're not buying up here. You're buying down here. And we'd all love to buy down here, but I'm not sure you're getting that. The 1 cent, unless we have a bear market of unreal
well, I think it would take some.
It's not happening.
It would take another convergence of black swan events, war on major continents, worsening, drawing in other countries, more pandemics, more shutdowns, that kind of thing. So you'd have to have black swan on top of black swan on top of this bear market, I think, to see those kind of prices again. Just because, let's
put it this way.
Go ahead.
For Chiliz to go down to 1 cent, BTC is likely well below 10K. So that's just to give you some perspective. That would be really crazy and dangerous.
And like I said, like I was going to say, I just don't think that they can get that low with the partnerships like you mentioned. But one interesting point that you made, and I want to hit on that a little bit more, is the tokenomics and its linked to Socios and the fact that it's not linked to Socios. You and I both pointed out a long time ago, gosh, we wish they would have made the holders of the Socios token buy a little bit of Chiliz as well, because that would have been such a great link in tokenomics, and they could have played off of each other a little bit. And I just, to see them not give this token more utility within their ecosystem, especially as popular as Socios is, I think is a swing and a miss.
Yeah, I would still really watch that token heavily in the bear market because they have so many partnerships. And if they ever do tweak their tokenomics, it could be a huge skyrocket up to the moon. Could be. That's what I'm saying. If you're into Chiliz, I would slowly DCA in. I wouldn't put a lot in right now. Like I said, I think we have a ways to go in the bear market. I do not think that we're going straight up. Like we've even seen a retrace now from 25 to 24. And now into the high 23s. So again,
me personally, I thought Bitcoin was going to retrace once it hit 24. I was actually surprised that it went so high up to 25. So kudos to those that waited a little bit and took profits when it got all the way up to 25.
Yeah, one last thing we want to discuss very, very briefly. Celcius, unfortunately, they're missing 2.84 billion in crypto. Now they do have assets like the Bitcoin mining company, but it looks like they may have to take a loan just to continue operations after October. Now they can easily get that loan according to the experts, but still not amazing news for them. At least they finally did release their financials. Some people made money on the sell squeeze, but at the same time, if you are a Celcius holder, and some people are in both in Celcius and Voyager, you want to see that process go much quicker than it is right now.
And you want it just seems like it's an awful lot of teeth pulling to get Celcius to turn over things. I mean, their financials, it took a long time to get there, and now what's the hole that we finally got to? 2.8 billion. And
2.84. However, it's technically not that much because they have other assets that could offset that. That's how much crypto is missing. It's not a great place to be in. You know,
I just, to be in that big of a hole and then to be taking a loan on top of that, again, my heart goes out to people who have their money trapped on Celcius, because that as bad as the Voyager situation looks, the Celcius situation to me just looks a lot worse when you start to look at the things.
now, once they get a plan
that are being pushed back.
Yeah.
Scary, and my heart goes out.
Once they get a plan together, maybe things will start looking up. But on this show, we like to keep it 100% real. They haven't gotten that staking wars plan yet, but we'll keep you updated on that too. But remember, for Voyager, guys, August 26th, huge date. If you're watching this on a Wednesday, that's 9 days away, and we will keep you 100% updated. Please remember to hit subscribe, guys. Let's get us to 300. Help us out, please. Share this video
Just to
to as many
500.
people as you can. Yeah, well, I want to get to 300 first, but you could be our 300th subscriber pretty easily. And let me tell you, I've heard rumors that they'll give you good luck on your next trade. So just something to consider. For MrFOMO, this is AZcrypto. Remember to hit subscribe. Have a great night, everybody.
See ya.